Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to Joanne Bartell's 2000 Celebration Hop here on YouTube. And it is also May I Scraplift You. So, guess who I'm scraplifting today? Yep, you're right. It is Joanne Bartell. And May I Scraplift You is a creation by Crystal Barrett, who is Pineapple Papers here on YouTube. And this is the layout I'm scrap lifting of Joanne's. It is um I'm thinking Simple Stories Vintage Country Harvest. That's it. And this is a photo I am scrapping. She had hers layered already, so I went ahead and layered mine, and I added some jute and little sticker that had a heart on it already because my video is pretty long, and so I knew I needed to do it in advance. Her leaves are inked, and so I'm inking mine, and I'm using several different inks. I started out with bundled sage, and it is on there, but I'm going to end up changing it to uh, rustic forest. And this is the yellow one is scattered leaves, and then I have wild honey, and I also have rusty hinge. And I'm just going to use the brush and blend it onto this paper. And this paper was gessoed, kind of more to make it thicker because it was a thin white cardstock than to actually prep it because I wasn't going to pour any liquidy looking stuff. I wanted to go ahead and ink it with the brush. And I will add some on top with the packaging, but not a big blotches. It's smaller blotches that I'm adding. And I'm using some of the same colors in the sprays, except the one that I'm putting on right now, and it is carved pumpkin, and my scrappy friend Debbie gave it to me, and it goes really well with the other colors on here. Oh, I did do kind of a brighter green. I did mowed lawn. I forgot about that till I just now seen it. But if you can look at the layout, I am using the same papers. Not exactly the same, but the same collection because I didn't have quite the same scraps that she had. But there's green on there, and I thought, well, I'm just going to go ahead and use the mowed lawn, thinking it might fade a little bit. It didn't, but I still liked it because y'all know I like green. And the last splattering that I'm adding is chalk paint, and it's Tattered Angels. It's a pretty old one. I've had it a long time, but it just keeps going. And I think it adds like a moldy kind of look to my leaves, but I like it, so I go ahead and use it. I use those dies that Debbie gave me. It's spellbinders, and there's like 9 leaves in there, so plenty to choose from. And of course, it cut out beautifully, and so I have them all there. But they didn't seem quite as dark as I was wanting. So I am inking the edges of them to add a little bit more color to the edges and make them darker because they seem to turn from the edges inward to me anyway. And I like the edges darker. And of course, I love to have the stems darker too. I did use some of the for rustic forest. That's it. I might have said it wrong the first time. Rustic forest on a few of them instead of the tea dye or the rusty hinge. I used all kinds of colors. I wanted them all a little bit different. And looking at it some more, I decided I needed even more. So I'm using rusty hinge, and I'm stamping it with the Bow Bunny stamp first. And then I'm going to go back with the Stampendous Crackle stamp and add, well, first I'm going to add the rusty hinge, I think. And then I tried a little green. And then I went to black and added black. So I have several colors with that one on there, adding, well, they look to me like where you know how they get dried out and they start to crack. That's what it looked like to me, and that's what I was going for. I had this pretty old piece of paper. It is one-sided and it's thin, but I thought it'd work for my branches, and I wanted to add a little darker color to them. It had some kind of straight lines, and I wanted the lines to be off a little bit. I didn't want them basically straight. They may not have showed up so much once I punched out the Tim Holtz branch die, but I decided to add some lines that weren't straight. That's what I was doing with the stamp. And I always had been stamping with the black soot, so I went ahead and used it. I am using the Martha Stewart punch for the pine branch, and I'm going to use the tealish green side. I didn't plan it to start with. I planned on using the newsprint side. But once I seen it, I thought, oh yeah, I need to use it. I need to add a little more of that color to the layout. I also wanted to add a little more to my background. Joanne did, I'm thinking it was splattering around her photo area. I can't say for sure, but I think that's what it was. I think she used shimmers and that it was really pretty and shiny. But I decided to use the reverse chicken wire dye. No, it's not a dye. And I used hickory smoke in the oxide and went around the page here and there. Places I thought it'd show up and peek out and put it on the layout instead. Now that journaling strip that's on there, Joanne put that on her. She didn't have the plaid there, but I'm going to use that piece right there, and that is one that she had on her layout. And I think I am going to pull in another one with some more orange. She has different layers on top of her butterfly sheet, but I used the ones I had instead. I could have maybe cut into 6x8 on a couple of things, but I wanted to use scraps, so I didn't. I am also going to have my photo in a different place. Not that I planned on it. It's just that once I started adding stuff, my photo was more to the right than hers was. But I liked where it ended up. I just wasn't actually planning on it. I planned on tucking it into the same spot, but it turned out all right, I think. I think balanced enough that it would work. It just gave me a little bit more room on the left to embellish. And I just love that plaid paper there that I just covered up. But yeah, I thought I cut it in, well, it's not quite in half, but I thought I cut it so that I could put a little bit on each side. And I think that's why I ended up moving the photo over. I wasn't thinking and I just kept going. It happens. I went to pull out that plaid sheet and seen a couple more things in there. So I pulled them out and I will be using, well, one of them at least on the layout. And I had that Hello Fall already prepared for another layout and didn't use it. So I thought I'd go ahead and use it on this one. And I will use it for my title. And I was making this little guy. He is a Stampin' Up! Build a Fox. And my camera went off. So you will see kind of like an empty spot pop in there. But I did use one of the scraps from a 6x8 page to make him. One was a little more red than the other, but I am going to add some ink. And some of the parts were a little whiter than the others. So I tried to punch in those spots. And then I used the 1/8 inch punch for his eyes and his nose. And that's it. He did not take very long to make. And that's when I noticed right here that when I was putting that little end of the tail on there that I did need to go ahead and add some more ink, and I used Rusty Hinge. Joanne has a fawn, a baby fawn, looks like in hers, but I had the fox, so that's why I went with the fox. I love it when I actually have a layout to Scraplift and have some of the papers too, so it'll look a little bit more like the original. Um, I'm adding the foam tape to the back of that strip there. I had cut it out and backed it in some cardstock for another layout, and it got left over, so it's going on this one. And I'm going to use it to nestle my little fox into. And I'm adding foam tape behind him, well, the top half of him, so that he can tuck behind that and still stand out a little bit better. On my photo, I use that 1/8 inch tape because it's thinner, and I added some behind the photo with the first layer of brown, And then I added some more behind the whole thing so that I could have 3 layers there with my papers and picture and everything together. But I'm now going to tuck my leaves here and there on the layout. So while I'm doing that, I want to mention that down there below, you'll find the links to everybody that's helping my scrappy friend, Joanne, celebrate her 2,000 subbies. So that is awesome. And then also down there, you'll find well, it's going to be a master link for the May I Scraplift You. And it's going to be going on all month. So 31 days of layouts. Hopefully, I'll do one every day. Fingers crossed. I never did get the ones done for the 30 days of sketches in March because different things came up. But fingers crossed that I managed to get these done. On the right hand side of the photo, she has a cluster. My screen's so little, I cannot tell you what she has there. But I didn't have, oh, she had a little crate with some more pumpkins. And I had one, but it's on that little strip right there. And so I covered it up because I thought it was just a wee bit tiny to go with that great big one. So I covered it up, but I was looking around to see what else I could use on the right hand side. So I fussy cut out the doily, and then it just says more pumpkins, please. And I wanted to tuck it behind the heart, but of course, I glued all that down really good and it wasn't moving. So I just cut a little triangle out of it and tucked it behind it, and you can't even tell it now. And I did put foam tape behind it so it'd stand up as high as the photo. Now, Joanne got creative and put the little sticker phrases in her crate. So, of course, I'm going to copy it and do it too. And so, my 3 stickers just say happy times, it's fall, you all, and shades of autumn. And I'm just going to layer them pretty much the same way she did on my crate. I pulled out one of the stickers and it says these are delicious days. And I went ahead and matted it with the brown cardstock, and I'm just going to tuck it down there, underneath the photo somewhere. And I got a little crooked, but I have straightened it now. It's not straight in the photos, I don't think, but I did straighten it while sitting here. And let's see, where am I at? Oh, more stickers. Now, this is where I end up making them. No, not yet. I haven't made the mistake yet. I will in a few minutes. I am going to add 2 ticket stickers to the left-hand side. She has a cluster on her left-hand side. And I thought, okay, I'm going to put one. I've kind of got a gap there anyway. So like I said, it makes more room for embellishment. So I'm adding the 2 ticket stickers and some more greenery. Well, I don't know if you call it greenery. Maybe fallery. No, but I am going to add some leaves there. Joanne has a tab up there above her photos somewhere. I'm not sure where, but I went ahead and put one up there. I didn't have it maybe in the same place, but at least I have it up there. And it says perfect pick. And when I was looking at the tabs, I noticed some of those other stickers there. And so I decided to add one, and I'm adding so very grateful there. And see that ticket there? That's where I goof. I started to do it right at the bottom, but I must have flipped it somewhere along the way, because when I was taking the photos at the end and I went to do a close up there, I noticed the words were upside down. So I thought, okay, do I try to undo all these leaves and flip it over or what? Instead, I got a little sticker that says best ever off the sticker page and put it right on top of it. So you will see it at the end fixed if you're noticing that I did it upside down, because you've used those little ticket thingies before. And yeah, it's fixed now. So it does have words up right side up. And I like the words that was upside down. It's just that I didn't get to use them. I used the best ever instead. And I haven't mentioned that the photo is of my granddaughter, Charlie. And my daughter was taking the photos, and they took quite a few that day. And this one, she is in the cornfield, and I really like her smile in this one. But isn't this a gorgeous collection? It is not from this last fall, but the fall before, but I really, really like it. So I did buy a little bit of extra. I bought off Peachy Cheap first, and then, of course, I only had a 6x8 with stuff, so I had to buy the collection, just the package, to go with it so I could have some 12x12. I am using the Carpumpkin to sprinkle on there. I wanted the brighter colors. My first instinct was to use the rusty hinge. Oh, love that. But then I thought, well, I think I'm going to go for the brighter color. So yeah. And so then once I did that, I thought, well, I guess I'll go with the brown on the enamel dots since I went so bright on the splatters. But that's it. That's my layout. And I really had fun making it and helping Joanne celebrate. And of course, scrap lifting her gorgeous layout there. And as always with scrap lifts, you have so many to choose from somebody. So yeah, it is very, very hard to decide what layout that you're going to scrap lift. What won me over though was the fact that I had some of these papers. But yeah, there's my leaves, and you can see where I stamped them with that crackle stamp. And that one I used green on. I think it looks like it looks like I used the green on it. Forest, rustic forest. And there's my little cluster with the no, ticket stickers and my title. And that is one from the 6x8 paper pad that I fussy cut out and put foam tape behind. And of course, I had the foam stickers out. At first, I planned on using them, but I found that and used it instead. So I'd get on layout and see my sticker on top of that other. You can tell it's on top. But yeah, it covered it up pretty good, and that's why I went with that one. I tried a couple, and that one's the one that worked. But thank you all so much for watching my video. I really appreciate that. And if you leave a comment below, I'll try to get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate that too. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe. And those of you already are, thank you so very, very much. And I hope you all have fun on the hop. Check Joanne out first. I believe she's having a giveaway. And yeah, have fun and try scrap lifting one of her layouts. Bye.